Entrepreneurs need to understand that the business is not for them at all. It's for the market. When we say successful people do this, whatever, don't try to do anything that anybody is doing. Suno sabki, karo apni.
Welcome to the podcast How To with Floyd. Today is a special episode with a special person who's helped multiple business owners generate around over 10,000 crores worth of business in the last few years. We're at this wonderful location, the Bullied Beach Resort. It's a sunset podcast and we're looking for some sunrise ideas. We're looking at Avi for brightening our ideas, brightening our days up. Avi needs no introduction because he's known as the man of the power introduction. So today I'm going to ask Avi to do his power introduction, unlike me doing his introduction. So Avi, welcome to the podcast. Over to your power introduction.
Thank you so much for doing everything in style like you always do. So my hero introduction comes from my belief that the shortest distance between two human hearts is always a good story. You tell a perfect stranger a good story and you win a heart for life. My name is Avi Arya, father of 2 girls, 6 dogs, husband to a superwoman, a street car racer turned hotelier, now social media marketer and founder of Internet Moguls.
Welcome to the How To with Floyd podcast with multi-awards winning brand coach Floyd Tavares. Unlock proven strategies, hear powerful stories, and learn how to build a brand that dominates. Get ready to grow, thrive, and lead your entrepreneurial journey.
You spoke about story. What's your story? Right? Let's start off with a story that has made you, because you have a success story, you have a struggle story, you have a family story. What is your most life-defining story, and how has that made you into who you are?
You know, this movie that came recently, Adolescence, it's about extreme bullying and it's about social media and how sometimes people are made to feel small and then how teenagers retaliate. I'm so glad this movie came out because it will help so many people build processes, systems, help around it. Around the same time, I was 13, 14, extremely overweight and I used to stammer. And I was picked on by a lot of bullies because I could not say things properly. So they used to come and tell me to come and recite a few lines, knowing very well I'll fumble. And every time I fumbled, I would get a slap. And it used to hurt. And I wanted to cry, but you see my size. I had too much of pride in me to cry in front of them. So those kind of but I never told anybody. And this continued for about maybe 2 years. So I remember once I joined a martial arts class and I realized there's no way I'm going to learn martial arts in less than 5 years. I asked him how much time is it going to take for a black belt to happen. He said 5 years minimum. I said, by that time they'll kill me. So I said, why can't I hire both of you to fight with those guys? So they said, we'll come and protect you as an elder brother. So both those guys went and they got beaten up black and blue and they came back. Now my fear level is 10x. I want to die. But I had so much love from my parents that I never thought, I said, how can I die? How can I die? What will happen to them? So, long story short, eventually I spoke to my grandfather and he invited all of those people and their families home for dinner. And he just connected over breaking bread together and things became okay. So that was a big lesson in my life that was one story. The second story that I thought defined a lot of things in my life was I always wanted to say something. All of us have a desire to say something. And my desire to say something was more because I always wanted to be an actor or a director or a storyteller or whatever. So every time I would tell a story, because I would stammer, people would laugh. And I was like, let me at least tell the story. I wanted to at least listen to me. Shrug this guy off, listen to the other people. Make fun of him, listen to the other people. And that happens normally. Society does that. So but it made me feel so small inside with such a large body, feel so small inside. I started behaving small, thinking small, all of that. And then my mom said, we'll go for speech therapy classes. So we go for speech therapy and she never called it speech therapy. She used to call it some fancy term which made me feel that, I'm going to better myself or something. Or this is my only time away from my siblings. I got my mom to myself. We used to go in the auto rickshaw. I used to be cold, so she used to use her shawl and give me half. And so that was that cozy time with her. So I was like, this is my time with her. So I was enjoying those trips. And my mom, even now, she's my God. And she said something, you'd never doubt it. So I was always like, if she said it, it's going to happen. And then we had an event in school where we had to give a speech. And I told mom there's an event happening. And she's like, great, you're going to go for it. I said, no. I'll be demolished. They'll make so much fun of me. I'm just about barely able to go to school without being made fun of. You cannot put me through this. She said, you're my son, you have to do it. I'll write the speech. So she wrote a speech. After a few days, she said, speech is ready. I saw this page. It was 10 pages. I said, Mom, how can I do this? There's 10 pages. She said, no, it's not 10 pages. I said, 10 pages. She said, no, it's not 10 pages. She had written on both sides, so it was 20 pages. I was like, I'm going to be crucified over there. She said, no, you're my son. Hoga, all of that self-belief. She kept injecting self-belief into me. Obviously, I didn't sleep the last 3 nights before the talk happened. I went there. As soon as I went up there, the entire audience started laughing. Because I couldn't say it the way I had to. And I just kept remembering my mom made a promise to me. You have my swear that you'll finish till the very end. So what was supposed to be a 20-minute speech with all my fear and anxiety and people laughing and all of that took about 30 minutes maybe instead of 15, 20. Every second, Floyd was like death. And everybody laughing, and even the teachers, poor people, some of them, even if they wanted not to laugh, they were laughing. So 2 things happened with both these instances. I came back home, I told mom it went well. That day I started feeling, because of these 2 stories, the fear broke. Because there was intense fear. And it came to a level, it's like, I've experienced fear for, like, how long can fears keep troubling you? 2 years for the bullying and 2 years of such a long time for the speech thing. And I was like, the worst happened in those 30 minutes. It's happened. How continuously people are laughing. How long I've endured it. It came out okay. So this is the worst that can happen. For the bullying part, I realized that fighting will not help. You always have somebody more powerful than you. Connecting hearts will help. Storytelling will help. Making jokes will help. So that's what became my personality and my story. And I became somebody who's funny, who can tell stories, who can connect hearts. And that's how I've been living.
Powerful. So we have something called as the 3S of brand, right? First is the story. Second is your superpower. And third is the standards that you set. Your story is so powerful. But before I get into the superpower part, I want all of you, if you love what you're listening, please do not follow, to give us a subscribe, give us a follow, share the gift of this knowledge with your friends. You spoke about the 10x fear, right? Your fear grew 10x. But whenever I sit with you, you inspire everyone 10x, right? You make everyone a 10x better version of themselves. And that's testimony because recently you gave a keynote at one of our events and all of them were a better version after that event, talking about your speech and how you've raised their level. To raise someone's level, I think the first part is you need to work on the mind, right? I think you have a great way of telling stories that make people think, make people believe. So if you had a framework of how do we influence mind, because no school teaches us about mind management, right? People they teach us everything but mind management, but it's all 95% belief before we start doing it. So what is your framework in working with the mind, not only for an entrepreneur, but even for, say, a homemaker or for a student, right? If there are 2 or 3 things that are non-negotiables for the mind.
So see, my number one thing is why I ask people about their stories. Why I tell a story is because it inspires others to tell me their story. They feel comfortable. If Avi's spoken about his, issues with weight, issues with this thing, if he can say it, I can say it. So that is my unlock permission, subtle, to the other guy to say, you can also say what you think is your beautiful imperfection in life. And when I'm hearing people's stories, half an hour, 1 hour, sometimes I tell people to send me a voice recording or whatever. When I hear that, I'm looking from empathy, and empathy is given to me by my mother as a
core value.
I inherited it from her. She put it in my genes. Plus this few years of being, of going through my own trauma, which I told you about. I don't like to call it trauma because it's a blessing. Eventually it's a blessing. That time it was tough. But the thing is that, how should I say it? I want to explain it to your audience in such a way that, for example, if you get badly hurt and it's a wound and it's paining and it's really, really painful, and then I see somebody else sitting with me who's also recently got hurt, I will make sure that I, even by mistake, don't bump into him, touch him, because I know how painful it is. So that pain that I went through has made me a person. I can genuinely see the tears in people's eyes without them ever telling me. It's just that the gift that he had to give me after going through this. So the point I'm trying to make is that when you have to work on the mind, first understand where the heart is broken. For which part? Like a doctor would see it. Kahan se toota hai? Was it a girl? Was it a boy? Was it a death in the family? Was it...
Understand the pain.
Once the pain comes out, and you see where the the pain is coming out from, where it's broken, and then let the person acknowledge it and give them a safe space. And then you'll understand that the person's superpower is behind that pain. And once you talk about that is when the person is inspired to make a change in their minds. I cannot say, acha, meditate karo, अच्छी books पढ़ो, ये करो, nothing will happen. You have to go down to that pain point and say behind that, acknowledge it, make a safe space and say here, I'm here for you. If we do this, this will become better. And plus, this pain was not given for you. And my belief is no pain is given for you. It is for you to endure it and understand another's perspective and change that.
Become a 10x version through that pain.
Whatever you've been through, somebody's amputated a hand or a leg, somebody went to hospital, somebody went through divorce, whatever you went through is not your personal experience alone. It is for you to empathize with other people who've gone through similar things and be able to help them. So once you see that, then people are like, oh, I went through 2 divorces, doesn't mean that I cannot help other people. I was overweight, doesn't mean I can't help somebody with this. I was stammering, so doesn't mean that today I can't be top public speaker. So to be able to influence the mind, I think the route is through the broken heart. Number 1. Number 2 is you have to, like for somebody as fit as you, I can almost predict your diet. Similarly, for somebody whose mind is strong, you can almost predict their circle. You will know that they're saying no, they're busy to people who are bringing them down. And they might not be bad people, it's just that they're not meant for them. So the second thing for the mind is the sangat, I call it, the company of people that you hang out with. It has to be very nicely, beautifully edited, which sometimes means you don't meet your school and college friends or whatever, your best friend. During that time when you, like for example, if you're becoming a world-class athlete and next year is your competition, or you become a doctor, you go to medical school for 5 years, so you want to become an engineer, you leave your friends and family, go into school 5 years, become a doctor and come back.
Hyper-focus phase.
So when you're doing entrepreneurship, why is it that you need everybody with you and nobody needs to feel bad? You just say, I'm going to entrepreneurship school, 5 years, let me do who I'm doing, and then I'll come back. Accept me for who I am, and your friends will understand. There has to be a balance, of course, you can't ignore them. So that is the second part. And the third part is that you have to do for others even when you don't have it.
Go a little deeper.
Like for example, you cannot fix your own problem is what my belief is. I just feel that the whole world is sitting in circles, the whole world, and everybody's got an itch at the back. And my hand's not going to reach here, I have to itch your back, somebody will itch my back from the whole circle. So anything that's not working for you, help others. If you don't have money, donate. If you don't have knowledge, give whatever knowledge you have to somebody else. Your knowledge, you have to empty a little bit to fill it up. It doesn't work otherwise.
Powerful. So 3 steps that you spoke about nurturing the mind. The first, you obviously spoke about the peer, spending time with the right people that raise your level, helping people, serving people. As John Maxwell says, you're here to serve and you're here to help the others win. As a digital coach and as an entrepreneur, do you have a particular style of serving people? Is it how do you serve people? What is, if there's a framework of how to serve people in 2, 3, like there was a beautiful line that you said, right? First step is to bring their belief up, right? Second is to push them on a daily basis. So is there a particular framework you have as a coach?
So like I said, first once I understand where are they broken, and broken is beautiful. It's beautiful. I mean, any art is not perfect. So I just see where the art is broken or where the lines are and all of that. So I understand the person. I see where they're lying to themselves just to hide from the world. Once I do that, then my second step is to inject self-belief in them through helping entrepreneurs get some quick wins. Like for example, for me, understanding your own story and being able to say it in front of camera, and then second stage, go and create ads around it, understanding the customer's pain point, creating an ad around it. For a lot of people, it's like, oh my God, I never thought I could do it. For a lot of people, it's very simple. For a lot of people, it's like, I never thought I could do it. So we help them understand who their story is, which they want to be proud to tell to the world. This is who I am. Like, I'm not saying that I'm the owner of this many companies or I'm doing this, I have so many people working for me. I'm saying I'm the father of 2 girls, 6 dogs. That's me. So what is you? So when we understand their story, around that we build their customer avatar. Who can they help with their story? But Avi, this is not the education I did, but I was a business. Forget all that. You want to be in alignment. Because my job today, Floyd, is to create aligned entrepreneurs. Because if you're not aligned, you'll crash and burn out. Because you're doing something which is not you. Because you think it's cool, isme zyada paise, isme market share, isme all of that. You crash and burn. You get depressed, you get anxiety. I'm not saying generally for everybody, but aligned entrepreneur is somebody who does for others what he wished others had done for him.
Lovely. I love that.
And that allows them to continue to serve, and then the money comes beautifully automatically. Then you love that money. It's a different money. Every money is not
So
the same.
is alignment something like finding your niche, or is it something like your passion point, right? Like when Oprah found her calling. Is that alignment?
Oprah finding her calling is alignment, but purpose and passion I don't believe in.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll come to that also. So to be able to understand who is it that you can serve with what your life experiences already are. Oh, I never went to school. So I never went to college. So I never did MBA. So I never did. If somebody tells me all these things, it doesn't matter. I can't speak English. So tell me your life experiences, boss. Your God has already given you an MBA in life. Tell me what life has taught you. Lost your parents at an early age? Great. Can you help other kids who are struggling through this? Become a coach. Help others. Create a program around them. Create a community around them. Serve. Make money. Who's saying no? Tell me what is the MBA God gave you through life. Forget the 3-year MBA or 2-year MBA you did at some university who nobody cares about today. So, but you know what? But this is cool. No, that's not cool. That's just going to last market. It's not an aligned entrepreneur. An aligned entrepreneur, according to me, the entrepreneur that I am training, Floyd, are the people who I take back from the time they were born to now. What is good? What is bad? Find a pattern and say, can you help others go through what you have half solved? Because nobody solved full. How can I help everybody if I'm not perfect? No, you're not meant to be perfect.
Love it. I think what you're doing is, whenever I talk to you, when I speak to you, there's something that you do to entrepreneurs and you do to business people and people around is energy, right? So whatever you just spoke, I would like to put it into a framework called the AAA framework, right? It's how do we charge up the person next to you, right? They say when you meet someone, after you meet them, are you bringing them down or are you taking them to a higher energy, right? The first thing you bring, and as coaches that we should all bring, is alignment. The first A. The second is action, right? Once you align, there has to be action, 100%. Right? You're just thinking about it and not 100%. Doing it. It's like reading a book the whole day and not taking
It's not
action,
about just
right?
feeling good.
Yeah. So, and the third A is attention, right? So you're doing it, but how? If you do it and you do it for yourself, but no one, you play the guitar in an empty room and no one hears about it. So as you said about your 3 superpowers are the sales, the gold, 3 biggest investments: sales, gold, and last is ads, right? So I think let's look at this as a AAA energy framework that you've created is alignment, action, attention. And if any coach, any entrepreneur wants to raise someone's energy up, let's look at the AAA framework. If you're looking at a guide to whatever Avi is saying today, DM us. We will have a playbook for you. DM me on Instagram, How To With Floyd, and we will send you a playbook of how you can implement all of this podcast. It's not what gets taught, it's what gets caught. So we will give you a playbook. Take the time out, take 30 minutes, pen it down. When you change, that's where we are serving, right? So that's the AAA power. Now coming back to the mind. So still on the mind, Avi, you have alignment, you have belief, right? You have belief you can do a lot. You have belief that you can be successful. But my question to you, what is success? Right? In our strategy sessions, we normally start the first question because each entrepreneur defines success differently.
Right.
And when I sat with you, you had a very beautiful definition of success. So what is success according to you, and how should entrepreneurs define success?
I don't know how they should define it. I'll tell you how I define it, because the thing is, my success definition at 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50 is
Kept
different.
changing.
And for them also it might be different. But eventually everybody comes to the same part. What I tell my team is, whenever they have to take a decision and I'm not available, and I try not to be available for decision making, let them make their own decision. I say it's peace and profits.
Peace and profit.
Yeah.
Love it.
So we have a website, we have blogs around it called Peace and Profits. So peace and profits, not peace or, and not, we can't say only peace and no profits, because then
You're a monk.
You can't serve.
Yeah.
खत्म हो जाएगा. किससे peace मांगोगे? किसको serve करोगे? And if you have only profits and no peace, then recipe for disaster. Nobody wants to work in those companies and all of that. So peace, and what is buying peace and profit? If it's a toxic client, say thank you. If it's a toxic employee, say thank you. Like, no questions asked.
But it's easier said than done, right?
No. You just become fearless over a period of time. Or you become practical because you're like, dude, this other thing is costing me so much every time, energy, So, yeah, I made all the mistakes to be able to carry toxic people for 5, 6 years because they were performing in sales. They ruined departments.
So how to identify toxic clients and how to then say no to toxic clients if you're already existing with them?
Yeah. So the thing is that first, if like a team feedback will come that the client hasn't done the work and he's blaming you for it. So first you straight out call them on their rubbish. That let's do an audit, let's do a review. impromptu review should happen in 24 hours. This is what you were supposed to do, you didn't do it. Some people will say, fine, I understand, I'll do it. And if somebody repeats that pattern, you say, this is the last time we would like to have an interaction with you because you're not taking action. And
With refunds or without refunds?
No, refund. Say, for example, if he's paid for 6 months, and if his 3 months is done, then rest 3 months refund. Because we don't want to keep that lingering thing that, he took my money and didn't do it. But for that month, we'll charge because that month is done. We won't refund the last 3 months. So, till the time you were with us, we've taken the money and you've not done the work. But the rest of the period, you paid for 100% refund because that energy, it's like taking off the gloves after an operation. You have to put the gloves away. Where you take that whole mess with you. Somebody else's money, where he's got that intention, you took it away. That money cannot come into my kids and my family. That has to be given back.
Okay. If you like what you're listening, do not, and I know you love what you're listening because Avis Superpower is speaking. Do give it a like, give us a subscribe, give us a follow. Avi, your superpower again is speaking. Your superpower is marketing, right?
I don't know. I think my superpower is, I've created a brand around marketing, but I think my superpower is telling stories.
Telling stories. Coming back to the marketing bit, how to get leads not in a digital first world, but in an AI first world.
So it's become increasingly easy to to do business today. So my latest, I've fallen in love with Gemini AI. I don't know if they've done some update or something. So I'm like, I've got 3 kids on my laptop. 3 kids, 3 tabs, whatever you call it. ChatGPT, Perplexity and Gemini AI. And I keep taking prompts from each other and saying, this Gemini gave me this, what can you give me? I just put a funny play on this whole competition. So I've already saved my customer avatar. So for example, if my customer avatar is somebody who's between 30 to 65, male, female, making at least 3-4 crores a year, wants to go to 25 crores in the next 2 to 3 years, is focused on working with a coach who has values like mine. You know what? This whole spiritual thing and all that doesn't appeal to me, then he's not my guy. Because this is why I'm going to be like
this. Let's go a little deeper. So what is your ideal kind of client?
So this 30
values. Okay.
Yeah. So okay, that deeper. So in terms of values, for me, family is very important because I don't know if I can help anybody who doesn't believe in a family or their family doesn't believe in them. There must be ways of helping them, but I don't know how to. For me, it's like I'll immediately put a blanket of love around people and get their families together and all of that, or friends or whatever. That's very important for me. So dogs,
pets,
100%. They're therapists. They're the most inexpensive therapists on the planet. So very, very important. It's a superpower which will be recommended, mandatory very soon. I promise you. With this whole pandemic of mental health happening, be like, तुमने डॉग नहीं लिया तो तुम्हारे को फ्री इलाज नहीं मिलेगा. पहले डॉग रखो, उसके बाद तबीयत खराब होगी तो आना हमारे पास. That's my belief in, and I know it. I mean, I've had 14 dogs at one time. I have 6 right now. No, I have 7 right now. So we have 14, 15. We've always had. So for me, it was, I don't know. Like घर रहते हो, bathroom बनाते हो, घर बनाते हो, garden बनाते हो, mom को बुलाते हो, dad को बुलाते हो. That's your house. For us, it's like, okay, for 6 dogs. Get a house, this thing, 6 dogs. Like for us. So that values. Third is to be able to cry.
Emotional.
According to me, what happens is that if you're not able to cry, then that little eggshell is built over you and your business, and there's a facade that the ego or the mind or the world or whatever does, the devil, whatever you call it, does, puts a eggshell around you. It's a false pretense, this is who I am. And then that eggshell gets one more layer on it. It becomes stronger.
Do entrepreneurs, as a leader, do you want to show a soft side? What is your, do you think it's right to show the soft side to employees? Or
So what happens is, if you keep on letting the eggshell happen, it becomes so strong that then it becomes you. It takes over you. And then you want to protect that, not what's inside. And we die protecting that all our lives. It's the saddest thing. I can cry thinking of what a waste of a gift from God. हम अपने eggshell को बनाते हैं और उसी को protect करने में लग जाते हैं. अंदर वाला part डरते हैं कि दिखेगा किसी को तो चोट लगेगी, respect नहीं मिलेगी, प्यार नहीं मिलेगा.
They'll get to see my different side of me.
They'll see
they won't
me.
Respect,
They'll see me. And I feel I am not respect worthy. So that's why I'll put a shell around it.
So you feel that entrepreneurs should be felt, right?
100%.
Because people deal with feelings.
100%. Why are movie stars getting millions of dollars and revered around the world? Worshipped, mandir bante hain unke. Why? They've not even met them. They make you feel a certain way when your life is not going right.
What's the emotion you connect with? Like you want to be known for?
Self-belief. I don't know if that's really an emotion, but that's what I want to be known for.
Self-belief, yeah. It's about I think that's the lift your shoulder up, lift your head up.
Yeah, that's my unconscious. Now it's becoming more conscious, like you told me 2-3 times in the last 1 week. Slowly it's becoming more this thing to me that maybe subconsciously when I go, I just feel when I come back that whoever I met should
raise the level.
But it's not a deliberate, आज मैं ये करके आऊँगा. It's maybe what I want, Floyd. Maybe I want and I'm giving it so that it comes back in that circle to me. Maybe it's that.
Are you spiritual? Do you believe spirituality in business?
It's the same word.
It's the same word.
Yeah. It's the same word. You can interchange it. And you don't have to say spiritual business. You can say business also. It's the same word. It has the exact same meaning. That you're here to help somebody, put a smile on their face, create something for somebody who doesn't have it, have a energy exchange, which is also spirituality. And the whole ecosystem works like this. What is it? It's the exact same. There's nothing, no difference.
I love how our marketing conversation has moved to a spiritual conversation.
It's the same.
That's the power, right? That's the environment that we are in.
That's the environment.
It's talking more about success. That's about peace, prosperity, and profits, rather than valuation and revenue, turnover. I don't think we mentioned that in today's podcast. So that's the beautiful part of talking to you, right?
One person said in one reel I was watching, he said कि आप 5,000 स्क्वायर फीट का घर बनाते हो, 500 में रहते हो और बाकी 4,500 में आपकी ईगो रहती है. So most of the time, I'm not saying I'm all about 5,000 square feet houses on the beach. I love like good things about life. But what I'm trying to say is, if the good thing is for me, it's great. If it's for others, it's too much of a burden. I've carried it. I've carried it. I've carried this trying to get validation and all of that. But thak gaya hu.
But it's all about, does the validation change you or no, right? After you get that big car, are you the same person that you were before? Are you the same person after? After you get that big house, are you the same person before? Are you the same person after? If that doesn't change.
No, the point is, do it without the validation. Do it for you and your friends and your wife and your family and everybody. Because if you do it for others, they'll say, oh, you got this car. How about these tires, bro? You should have got better tire. Like, everybody cares about themselves. It's a beautiful, to be selfish is the most normal thing for a human being. Selfish it's a normal word. It's not a bad word. And so everybody is selfish.
Selfless or selfish?
Selfish. Everybody is selfish. That means first I'll think about how will this affect me. That's how we are trained. So that's fine.
When you look at a photo, the first thing, a group photo, I think you look at yourself first,
right? So the thing is that even when you're helping somebody, like I said, when I'm saying something and I'm trying to lift up people in every conversation, it's for me. Subconsciously, maybe I need that upliftment every day. So it's coming to me through others. Everybody on the internet, if you want to see what they need in life, you see what they're preaching. Dan Martin, Gary Vee, anybody on the planet. What they're preaching is what they want for themselves. And they're not doing enough of it, so they're telling others, so that it gets validated in their head also.
I think it's very important. Do more of what you want to be seen doing, right? So I think if you like dogs, kind of
my thing is
stuff about dogs.
My thing is like right now I'm in this frame of mind that, and I'm talking to entrepreneurs like you, because you're in front of me, so that's the image. Like, somebody who's fit, takes care of the family, nice organized team and everything. I'm talking to entrepreneurs like you. I'm not talking about to lazy people who are drinking and spoiling their lives. And I've done that, so I'm not judging them. But right now they're not ready.
We could have been sitting here with a beer, right? It's
I would sit with half a bottle of tequila, not a beer at that point in time. But what I'm trying to say is, I'm not talking to people who are not ready to take action. I'm talking about to people like you who are asking these kind of questions, and therefore our audience will also be like this. I'm saying, remember one thing, that you're rowing a boat and you've got a fancy boat, nice,
Rose.
And you have maybe you have a little bit of motor, nice music playing, maybe 2-3 team members, everybody's rowing, and you think, I'm going to win. And then if there's a drone that is flying above you, far, far above you, and then after few months of you rowing, somebody sends you that footage from the drone, and it shows that, oh my God, there's a humongous, endless ocean which has got waves coming, and it's taking you. You're doing this much. Like, oh shit, I thought I'm doing everything. It's not that you don't.
Yeah.
Because if you don't take action, I think your thing doesn't get counted in the ocean. You just sink. So you're there just to stay afloat. Baki apne aap ho raha hai.
So does that mean entrepreneurs need to have businesses that's going along with the tide?
Entrepreneurs need to understand that the business is not for them at all. It's for the market. what is working in the market.
For example, AI, right? I think our topic was AI,
Yeah.
and another Thrive and the waves are all about AI.
If AI is giving people faster, more efficient stuff, that means you have to learn it and be it, because then you'll ride with the wave, otherwise you'll sink. If your teams want an outing to Goa or to set up an office in Goa and they don't like Delhi or Bombay, and they're like, no, hum to yahi rahenge. You're not flowing with the tide. You are nobody. So three things: your team, your clients, and your vendors or partners, outsource karte ho jisko. These three people take care of them, listen to them, debate with them, see what can work out.
In fact, we're having a Starbucks experience tomorrow at the office,
Huh.
and we've called all of our loved vendors, and they've come
That's
in
it.
doing
Taj does it, Oberoi does it. They call internal and external customers. Those are the people who will help you win. All the companies, Floyd, that survived during COVID had their vendors, teams, and everybody stand by them even when they were not giving salaries. How does that happen? That happens because you've told them this is your company. So it's all about giving, going with the tide, understanding the market, evolving, going faster. And I cannot help injecting this one thing over here, ads. It's people don't understand what we have for so little. Like for 20,000-30,000 rupees you can run a campaign, get leads. Tell me if today that goes away or it becomes 10 times more expensive. I still do it even if it becomes 100 times more expensive, because I know the superpower of it. But a lot of people are not even spending 50,000 a month right now.
So tell me, talking about marketing, how to run better ads? What is your most preferred medium? What is, let's go deep into advertising.
So medium doesn't matter, because a lot of people tell me that Facebook doesn't work, and I'm like, I've got the 70-80 crores we spent on Facebook ads for our clients, and come on, so I'll tell you why it doesn't work and why it works. I'll start with why it works. So why it doesn't work is by people to create ads based on features. Hey, I can help you. Are you a coach? I can help you set up your funnels. I can help you do your ads. I can help you do this. Click on the link. I've done it for 20 other people. So you're selling a feature. 10 other people are selling features. So your product is commoditized. And when the product is commoditized or a service is commoditized, it becomes a price war, and a price war is a race to the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And after 2 months, 2 years, you don't find that agency. Or they're taking low ticket clients and crying that the market is bad. There's enough fish in the ocean. You don't know how to take it out. Don't blame the sea. How we work is, we say, again, like I said, all comes from empathy, all comes from the pain in life, everything. Business is a spiritual experience. So what I do is that I say, if I work with a client, I say, tell me what are your pain points. Oh, I'm not getting enough leads. My funnel is not working. My team is not listening. What
are the most common pain points, top 3 according to you? For
the clients who are coming to me are
industrial.
Clients who are coming to me are not willing to pay the ticket price that I want to charge. I said, how are clients coming to you? Like automatically? Yeah, from referrals. So I said, that means you have a client who's a poor client who's paying you.
Getting you poor referrals.
So this is not a business strategy. A business strategy is what you do. So when you create the pain ads, like I'll give you an example. There's a coach of ours who been working with us for 2.5 years. And when he came to us, he said, my ads are not working, poor. So the ad that was going out was, hey, are you a coach? So we changed the ad. We said, are you somebody who comes home at 10 o'clock every single night? Not because your coaching business is doing well and you're busy. It's because your wife goes to sleep at 10 o'clock and you don't have the guts to look at her in the eye because she is waiting to ask you. 2 years back when you left your business, you said it's going to take 1 year and we'll be making money. It's been 2 years. You don't know how to, and you don't want her to ask you that question. If this is the pain point you're going through, your ads are not working, funnels are not working, teams are not responding, small ticket clients are coming to you. Hi, my name is Coach ABC. Click on the link and I'll tell you exactly how to convert this thing and get high paying clients.
So it's a deeper pain.
It's a deeper pain. That's what human beings are. This will only come if you understand empathy in business and understand what the person is not telling you. But today I want to tell your audience that you can go to Gemini.ai and tell them that these are the pain points the customer is telling me. Tell me the pain behind the pain.
Wow. So let's give them the prompts, right? Let's create these prompts, give it to you, DM me on Instagram. We'll send the prompts to you. DM me AI Avi.
Yeah. So what we used to do 4 years ago, we used to charge $5,000 in Canada and about 2.5 lakh rupees in India to do a workshop to teach pain behind the pain. Wow. Now it's done.
So
now
was this the COVID phase when you went?
Yeah, COVID phase. So oh my God, you helped me discover pain behind the pain. Bulb on moment. My ads are working. Tick. Now it's a prompt. We've already given it away. So we need to all change, right? What was a $5,000 service becomes a prompt right now. So what do you do later with it? So anyways, coming back to this, pain behind the pain, and then run an ad for every pain behind the pain, and then say, by the way, I'm only equipped to serve customers who have minimum 5 crore revenue. If you don't have that, the form will not fill up and submit itself. So please don't waste your time. Thank you very much. But mere paas, people get scared. And what are you scared of? You're scared of losing the low ticket clients? Yeah, that's what I'm scared of. So you don't want to lose that. Put it in the form. In the form again, when we fill up, What happened when you were working with your last agency? How much money were you spending? What were the 3 challenges that you think they were yours? That forget the agency. What were the 3 things that you didn't do? We get an X-ray of the human being and their flaws. मैंने तो अभी SEO, PPC, social media funnel की बात ही नहीं करी है. It's all the human experience that is coming. The leads
It all
that come
comes
in.
down to the story, right?
The leads that come in are people like Avi, yes. And then those people will invent the money to pay you. Because you've understood what they were shying away from. You go to a doctor and you say, doctor मेरे पेट में दर्द हो रहा है. He said, क्या हुआ? नहीं ज़्यादा नहीं, ऐसे थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा खा लिया होगा. 1 सेकेंड. कितना दारू पिया? नहीं वो थोड़ा आधा बोतल कम से कम लग रहा है क्योंकि ये दर्द उससे कम में नहीं होती. एंड यू बीन डूइंग इट नॉट 1 वीकेंड, 4 वीकेंड से कर रहे हो. लिसन, आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू टेल योर वाइफ वेटिंग आउटसाइड, हियर इज अ गैस्ट्रिक्स टैबलेट, हियर इज दिस. 2 हफ्ते ये करो, उसके बाद नेक्स्ट टाइम यू ड्रिंकिंग, आई एम नॉट मॉरल एक्सपर्ट, आई एम नॉट सेइंग डोंट ड्रिंक. नेक्स्ट टाइम यू ड्रिंक, पुट नींबू पानी, व्हाटएवर. लाइक व्हाट द हेल? आई डिडंट टेल हिम एनीथिंग, ही न्यू एवरीथिंग. All of a sudden, when a human being meets another human being, we are on the same plane. Like, who the hell is he? Inspector, doctor, lawyer, property dealer. As soon as he tells you something that you are not admitting to yourself, all of a sudden in your head, he's like, Doctor Saab, Vakil Saab, Inspector Saab ban jate ho uske samne. You become an expert. And then you say...
So the doctor frame, the doctor-patient frame.
Any frame where the expert tells you something that you're not telling yourself.
I think so. Sales, 101 is... While selling, be the expert. Regardless
to be the expert, you have to go behind the scenes and understand what the person...
Find the pain behind the pain.
Yeah, find the pain behind the pain.
Do you realize you talk a lot in P's?
Now I do.
P's. Pain behind the pain, peace and profit, right? So you have a lot of P's in your framework.
Maybe that's what I'm looking for.
So that's because marketing was the 4 P's, right? Where now you've created...
Good one. I like
2 P's
it.
plus 2 P's.
Awesome.
It's just called kind of connecting back into...
That's a good one.
We call it the How to Find Your P podcast, right?
Good one.
So that's...
I like that.
I think great insights. So I wanted a podcast to be all about inspiring founders, entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs on how to go to the next level, right? Because you could be successful, yet you could still have the pain of not spending time with your family. You could be successful, yet you could still have the pain of having a health problem. You could be successful, but still have the problem of not spending time with your kids. So this podcast is all about inspiring entrepreneurs like you, talking about success beyond valuation. Nowhere did we say you've built XYZ crore company. So we don't want a podcast that's all about, because we have tons of other podcasts that talk about this valuation. Right? So it's value over valuation. And what you've brought in today to the podcast is immense value for everyone watching, whether you're a college student, whether you're an aspiring entrepreneur, whether you're a homemaker, whether you are an entrepreneur, whether you are a billionaire, millionaire, failed entrepreneur. There's so much of value that you've given through your multiple P framework, right? And something that we're going to take back definitely is the pain behind the P.
Yeah.
You once mentioned, when we were speaking, something about sleep, how important sleep is. My last question to you is, they say if you're the most successful entrepreneurs are those that sleep for 7 to 8 hours a day, right? And you have some nice philosophies of sleep in your definition. So I want to ask that as a question.
The thing is, I'll just rewind a little bit and say that, like you said, success, everybody has a different definition. So more successful people have sleep patterns and all of that. See, the thing is, whatever needs to be sold in the market today, because there are sleep beds, sleep therapists, sleep all of that. Whenever there's a market that comes out, then the market has to promote themselves by saying every successful entrepreneur...
Find the pain behind the pain, right?
Yeah, every successful entrepreneur does this, so you should also do it. Bullshit. Most successful entrepreneurs have BP and all of that drama. They're not sleeping well. So it's rubbish. It's people like you who have a disciplined gym life and all of that who are sleeping well, right? So
I sleep for 8 hours a day.
The end of the show. That's called peace. That's called... I think you're one of the most successful people I met in Goa in the last 1 month.
Oh, thank you.
8 घंटे कोई आदमी सो सकता है means that you have left. You're not getting him in the middle of the night thinking what will happen. That means that some part of you which has said, take care of it, I'm sleeping. That is called real peace. इसके लिए दवाइयाँ लेते हैं लोग, थेरेपिस्ट के पास जाते हैं, जो आपको अपने आप मिल रहा है. So what I'm trying to say is that everybody has a separate this thing. My main thing that I'm trying to say to the world right now and to you all people on this podcast is, when we say successful people do this, whatever, don't try to do anything that anybody is doing. सुनो सबकी, करो अपनी.
Love it.
So for example, if your work is such that you're in hospitality and you're working at a hotel and रात को आपको 4 घंटे ही मिलते हैं, तो दिन में सो जाओ 4 घंटे. It's not ideal, but there's nothing called an ideal life. Nothing is ideal. I want to spend more time with my mom and dad, but I'm traveling to Canada so many times. What should I do? Should I leave that or should I leave this? Nothing. मुकम्मल जहाँ नहीं मिलता, कभी आसमान कभी ज़मीन नहीं मिलता है. Sometimes you find something. There's always one thing missing. There was a Japanese painter many years ago. I read his story. He used to paint birds and all of that. You say, oh my God, this doesn't have a tail, this doesn't have a beak, this doesn't have this. Wow, they were so different. One day somebody came and put the beak and everything to make it perfect. Nobody liked the painting. The imperfection of not having everything together, that longing for a little more, that is it. That's the beauty, that's it. उसको perfect करने की चक्कर में, many years ago, there's this one boy, maybe 10 years old, he was making a puzzle. The school had given, teacher had given this thing to make a puzzle of the world. Africa, ऐसे का Russia जोड़ रहा है वो puzzle. उससे नहीं हो रहा. The father comes and says, what happened? He said, fed up and tomorrow's my assignment and all. He said, don't worry, get up early in the morning, we'll do it. No, how will it happen? It will happen, go to sleep. So when he goes to sleep, the father does the puzzle, makes the world, and he puts it upside down. On that, he puts a picture of the sun, pastes it.
Mm-hmm.
First he puts the world map, then he turns it around,
Put
puts
the
a picture of the sun, and then he puts the pieces out, and he puts it in the box. Next morning he gets up, he said, son, can you make your face? He said, yeah, I know my way here is 4. So he said, he makes that. And he makes it and he said, ulta karo. He said, now your world is fine, right? He said, oh, my world is fine. He said, so you fixed yourself and your world became fine. So if you have to fix yourself, you can't say, how are you fixing yourself? You fix yourself the way you were right. Like for example, I'm not able to get 8 hours sleeps. I started yoga and I started doing this 5 a.m. wake up, which I never did in my life. And now 5 a.m., even when I want to sleep, I can't. So what do? I sleep in the afternoon. 1 hour, 1.5 hours, 2 hours, power naps. In the car, I look forward to people. Somebody has called me, oh, 2 घंटे की drive है, great. Innova निकालो, it's a comfortable car, just पीछे सोते हो जाएंगे. So figure it out your way. If I figure it out, but Floyd is sleeping 8 hours, I'm sleeping fractional. Is Floyd going to be more successful than me? You do what you can do. Progress over perfection. There's nothing called perfection. There's nothing called success. Because as soon as you get it, you'll be like, वो चला गया. By the time I got success, I lost my grandmother. I lost this. ये खत्म हो. अरे क्या जो आज है. There's this one somebody, they say जो प्राप्त है वो पर्याप्त है. What you have is enough. I'm not saying don't go for the kill. I work 14 hours a day. I work
But progress every day.
I'm always working. I don't know what a holiday is because how can you not reply? I mean, it's fun. I mean,
Is this work or is this what? What is this?
So there you go. You put a link. After this, you give them brief. What is it? It's just you're flowing with it. When I was a child, my dad used to go and accept invites from relatives only who had a landline phone so that he could be connected to his work. That's all entrepreneurs are. So there is no definition of success. There's no framework. I'm telling you, don't read anybody's book.
But I love your definition, right? Peace and profit, right? So just look at your success every night. Did you have a peaceful day? Did you have a profitable day?
No, don't look at it every day.
Did you sleep well?
Don't look at it every day. Talk to some people who are blessed like you have such a rockstar wife. Talk to her once a week and say, how was my week? This is what I did. But nobody, she will call a spade a spade. No, everybody else you can bullshit or they will bullshit you to make you happy.
So in fact, just a story that happened today. It's a powerful story because today's podcast was not supposed to happen, right? Our podcast was scheduled for 5:15 in the evening, and at 3:30 in the evening, I was rushing to the hospital with my wife because she's 33 weeks pregnant, and we couldn't feel the kicks for the last 3-4 hours. So we were at the hospital, and I was sending Avi a voice note. I send my EA a voice note. Let's cancel the shoot. We're heading to the hospital. And then she's sitting next to me. She's like, why are you doing that? I'm like, how can we do the podcast? She's like, let's reach the hospital. If all is okay, it'll get delayed by a bit, but don't stop it. Right? So,
rockstar,
just,
definitely rockstar.
Having a coach at home, having some, this wouldn't have happened, right? And the learnings that, I've learned from you, thousands and lakhs of people that will be listening to you today, changing their definition of success, progressing every day, being imperfect, understanding that imperfection is the way forward. So that this is all, the ending is great. Like, this is the best part of the day, right? So
100%. You know what I want to say? Like, people say take ownership. I say don't take ownership. We are doing a job and there is a CEO. And when we're junior employees, we don't know what, like, imagine a junior employee in a company trying to understand why policies are changing, us shareholders are sitting in a boardroom. They know what they're doing. They're looking at market scenarios and everything and changing. And junior 10 departments down, there's a junior employee who, like you and me, who's thinking, oh my God, what's happening? The world is shaking. Everything is moving. I'm getting anxious. They're trying to save the company. Nothing is shaking. They're the best to run the company. Relax. Just have faith in your shareholders and the CEO on top of them. So we feel we are the CEOs of our company. That's why we start shaking. Oh my God, I'm not in control. You're not supposed to be in control, sir. You're not supposed to be in control. You do your job and go home. You're a naukri ka
do your
aadmi.
job well, progress every day.
आपका प्रोग्रेस एवरी डे भी मत करो. Like I said, do weekly, you'll fail. Say fortnightly, monthly. If you keep on increasing your horizon or your calendar, the pressure to perform every day is less. Every day नहीं हो सकता perform. And then we feel bad. Weekly कर लो, fortnightly कर लो, monthly कर लो, quarterly कर लो. If every quarter I'm progressing, I'm happy. That's why I'm an entrepreneur. मेरे को किसी को report नहीं देनी. We're bootstrapped. We're profitable from the last 20 days. Not 1 month have we not made money. I don't owe anybody any money. I have no bad debts. Why should I judge myself every day? I want to have fun.
That's success 101.
That's my success. मुझे नहीं करना. How many times we've been offered, let's merge with this, let's do this, what of that. And I used to get carried away. जाता था, but I was like, are you going to tell me what to do every reporting? And I don't want this. I want to progress at my pace. I'm reporting to the CEO, boss. Don't get me managers in between. Managers means society. Okay. No, I don't want politics. I'm reporting directly to the CEO.
So yesterday my son's school bus changed and the new school bus has a big board on top. Sabka Malik ek hai.
That's what I'm saying. Report directly to the CEO, yaar. कोई tension लेने की नहीं है.
No, I think that's a beautiful end.
Don't take ownership.
A mind and marketing podcast where we don't speak much about how to grow your business, but how to, it's all about how do you relook at what you're doing today? How do you relook at yourself? How do you relook at your relationships? How do you relook at the way you're doing things, right? So I think from peace to progress to being imperfect to storytelling, I think that if you listen to Avi Arya, we've got a few other snippets of his storytelling bits. We've not spoken much about AI. We've not spoken much about leads. We've not spoken much about ads. But there'll be a lot more to come. So thank you so much, Avi, for coming on this podcast. It is an eye-opener, completely change the way at which we look at the game, change the way at which we play the game. If you love what you're watching, if you like what you're watching, please do not forget to share this gift with your friends, your family, your colleagues. Give us a like, give us a comment, DM me, Playbook Avi, and we will send you an actionable playbook to you. No obtain. There's a gift to you with the AI prompts. We want you to win. Generally we want you to win. We want to serve you. And I think any last closing quote for the day?
No, see, the thing is that last few days have been very, very tiring. And this is whenever I ask my EA, like, who made my calendar? He said, you only do it. So I pack my own calendar and then sometimes kick myself in the butt, like, why did I make it so tight? But it's been tiring. Lots of things, good things happening. But one of the reasons that I'm here is because I didn't even look at your channel. I didn't know who are there, how many subscribers, whatever. You just showed me that wall. But my thing was that definitely when I came to your office, I think you listen to God. And definitely. That's why I'm here. Yeah. God, universe, whatever new age words you can use, whatever. And I just thought that maybe with this conversation, I can give you the validation as somebody who'll walk the planet a few years more than you, to give you the validation to say, Floyd, while you're in this transition phase and you're thinking of changing, don't change. Just be who you are and grow from here.
Thank you so much for your valuable insights. Thank you. It has been, I would say, not a podcast. It has been a session, right? It has been a session by the beach.
I know, this is amazing.
Right, guys, if you're here, we can literally hear the waves. Thank you so much to Bamboli Beach Resort for this wonderful location. Guys, if you're in Goa, just come by, just sit down, absorb the waves. It is healing of another level, right? Today itself we witnessed so many miracles. God is great, and thank you again for being on a podcast, How to with Floyd. My name is Floyd Tavares, the co-founder of Branding Consulting and the Business Leap program, and we help entrepreneurs take the leap to the next level. Thank you and stay blessed.